It's May the 2nd, 2025. This is Shane's Views, touching on the past week, mainly in politics and some sports. I'd like to first touch up on Shri Thanadar, congressman out of the state of Michigan, Democrat, a liberal, who is trying or says he's going to impeach President Trump. More of a waste of time, but amusing. Just like Reverend Al Green, I always joke Reverend Al Green, but Congressman Al Green, the walking cane man. These people, they have nothing to impeach, and they could try again because they failed the last two times. Of course, that's going to be a couple years from now anyway, when the liberals hope that they gain back the House, but it's not going to happen. So either way, if it does, it's still not going to happen. It's just more pointless bullshit. So this is just another clown trying to gain fame. He's a nobody, and it's going nowhere. But I thought it's worth mentioning because it's comical. And anyway, Mark Carney wins the Canada presidency. Another Democrat, hopefully a sane Democrat. We'll see. He won't be, hopefully not like Justin Trudeau, a total clown. We'll see what happens with that. I can't really comment on him other than he is liberal, but I give him the chance. We'll see what happens. Maybe he's sane. He's not into taking payoffs and, doing business deals illegally like a lot of other people in this country. And well, I'm sorry, that's Canada. In our country, I should say, the United States, and in Canada and anywhere. I mean, just a lot of illegal doings, and hopefully he's about doing the right things. Trump says that he had some talks with him already. He said they're positive talks, so we'll see what happens out of that. There's another story, Nicholas Terza, who was working in the Pentagon. Basically, James O'Keefe got him formally of a Project Veritas. He's with O'Keefe Media now, OMG. So they send undercover reporters. Basically, these people don't know they're being filmed. He gets a hot chick. He sends them to a dinner with this clown who basically says, I'm not following anything that Trump says. I'm standing down to what he says. Pete Hegseth should not be, the head of defense. Anybody that's, as old as I am or whatever, he made the comment like he's too young to be in that position. And basically that they're going to stand down, or he's going to stand down to President Trump. So once that tape came out, he resigned, and he would have been fired anyway. Hopefully more to come out of that. You got to get these swamp rats out. They're all over the place. Give me just a minute. It's a nice break in the video for a minute. We have the Air and Sea show in Fort Lauderdale this weekend, so they're doing their practice runs. So I do this outside, so the picture is clear, and usually the sound is clear, but now we're gonna have to have this interfering a little bit, so I'll try to get through with it as fast as I can. So anyway, Nicholas Terza, people like that, you have to get out of those positions. I mean, it's just, it's uncalled for that people like this keep, getting hired and, keep existing. I mean, there's just so many bad people in the government. I say this all the time in every episode, but there's so many bad people in the world in high positions that you just would never assume that there would be. But him and many others, there's a lot of things coming. There's a lot of arrests coming that people aren't going to even see. They're not going to even see them coming. You'll see it coming when it appears. But there's so many investigations that are going on under the blankets that they're nabbing all these bad people, and eventually the world's going to know when we start seeing people lose their jobs, people get arrested. for just committing bullshit crimes, mainly stealing money, but several other things also. Big news this week. Michael Waltz, he's basically being put into the position of UN ambassador. He's national security. He's not going to be in that position any longer as an advisor to Pete Hegseth. It's now going to be Marco Rubio, who just takes over another position, at least for now, unless Trump goes and finds another person to do this job. Hang on just for a second. Okay, that wasn't so bad. So anyway, for right now, Michael Waltz. Wow, this was the wrong time to do this, but I'm not going to tape this again, so this is the way it is. We're going to hear some Jets. The Blue Angels, I know, are a part of this Air and Sea show. I forgot. They're the big act. So anyway, we might hear these loud noises in this video, but it's okay. So anyway, Michael Waltz, there was a slip up a few weeks back where they were having a conference call, and of course a media member was involved. And it was nothing detrimental that was exposing anything that was going to jeopardize our security here, but things that you can't really have happen, even if you're talking and things that happen in past tense. Or wow, here we go again. Anyway, that wasn't that bad. So anyway, you can't have any slip-ups in these positions, especially in the Trump cabinet. So hopefully Michael Waltz, he's a good guy. He's an American patriot. Hopefully he'll do a good job in the UN ambassador role. I know Rubio, he can maintain multiple roles and he'll do a good job. Also, we'll go to the next one. There was a mineral deal reached with the United States and Ukraine this past week. So that's something that, Zelensky had to do. He has to start bending the knee. Trump wants to get the war over with Ukraine, I'm sorry. That's part of the deal. Zelensky, as much as he didn't want to, he bent the knee, signed the mineral deal. So that's a positive. I still know Zelensky's done a lot of crummy shit. I don't know what kind of a deal they have worked out with him. Maybe it's a deal that he'll avoid prison if he does certain things. I don't know, but to me, still a bad apple. I don't know, bad apples sometimes they can get cured. We'll see what happens with this whole thing. But anyway, that's, I guess, something we could consider as positive that Zelensky did, because everything else is basically criminal acts and lies that he performs. What else do we have going on this week? Well, President Trump, he attended the Pope's funeral. What was it, last weekend? There he had a sit-down talk with Zelensky. I'm sure this was part of that talk, because the mineral deal was just executed a few days after he was at the Pope's funeral. He showed face there. There was all big talk, of course, in the media. Oh, Trump's the only one that's wearing a blue suit, and they requested black suits at the funeral. But okay, big deal. Black, to me, that's mourning. That is mourning death. Maybe blue, Trump just wants to show more life. A navy blue or darker blue attire, but big deal. And everybody's, oh, he wants to stand out and be different, and okay, whatever. He was there paying respect, and that's enough. He was there paying respect. Now he did the commencement speech in Alabama last night for the graduates that are, the kids that are graduating the University of Alabama. I thought that was a great thing. Nick Saban, introduced him on the stage. Nick Saban's a big Trump supporter, one of the greatest college coaches, if not the greatest college football coach of all time. Trump, the kids were all happy. You could see it in their faces. They were ecstatic that he was there. So then after that, he is back now here in South Florida. He's in West Palm Beach, about 30 minutes north of where I'm at in Fort Lauderdale. So he'll be spending the weekend at Mar-a-Lago. He hasn't been here again for a couple weeks, so he'll be there. through Sunday. I think they said he's leaving around 6:30 at night. So it's good to have him back in town. I know he'll be golfing. He'll be enjoying it is getting hot down here, but he'll be enjoying the weather and begin those rounds in. And I think that's all I have to touch up on for politics this week. Thinking if there's anything else that I missed. Hold on, give me a second here. Oh, yes, there is. Okay. This happened last week. Right as I had finished recording my previous episode, George Santos, I believe he was sentenced to 87 months in prison. We'll see how long that lasts. I think that there could be a pardon in store for George Santos. I mean, 87 months in prison. I don't know. I think they're just out to... Hold on a second. Here we go again with the air show. Anyway, it's a nice sound. So 87 months in prison. I would say pardon is on the way by President Trump. We'll see what happens with that. Okay, so that's it for politics for this past week. Okay, so this will be the only episode I do that's interrupted by the Aaron C. Show at Fort Lauderdale practice run, okay? But again, I'm not re-recording, so, you know, I'm getting it in, and this is it, so this is the way it's got to be. So, sports, we have NBA, we have NHL playoffs going on. Neither of my teams are partaking, which are the Chicago Bulls, Chicago Blackhawks. I'm not going to go over every single series. I'll detail that the Los Angeles Lakers were eliminated. The Miami Heat were swept and eliminated and embarrassed, which I'm proud of because they're my most hated team in the NBA. And the Lakers, I don't care for either. So I'm glad to see LeBron out. We'll see what happens as these playoff rounds go into round 2. Some are still in round 1. We'll see what happens when they go into round 2 and on and on. Baseball, the Yankees still in first place in the American League East. By 2 games over Boston. They start a series tonight with Tampa in New York, a 3-game series. I don't think the Yankees have been playing that great. They are missing some key pieces. Let's not get that wrong. Of course, Garrett Cole out for the year, but other pieces that will be back at some point: Giancarlo Stanton, DJ LeMahieu, Jonathan Loaisiga, Jazz Chisholm just went on the 10-day IL, so he'll be out for probably a couple weeks. So we got some guys out, and just got to maintain the lead. Try to build it actually, and I think they played 10 series this year. I think they're 5-5 in those series, but I believe they're still 5 games over 500, 18-13. There some guys need to get hot with the bat. Pitching, of course. Luis Gil, I left him out. That's another big arm that's going to come back and help the starting rotation. So for now, need to maintain the lead, build the lead as much as they can, and then eventually get healthier and hopefully no more key injuries. Aaron Judge is leading the planet in batting average and slugging percentage and everything. He's hitting 427 right now, so we'll see if that can maintain, and maybe he hits 400 this year. That would be something. He'd be one of the very few in Major League Baseball. I believe there was 2 or 3 players, if I'm not mistaken, that hit 400. So we'll see what happens with that. It's still a long season left. The Yankees have played 31 of 162, so we'll see what happens. Football, I've already touched on that the last episode. The Raiders had actually, I see all A's really as far as this draft goes. I see maybe a couple of B's, but a lot of media giving them compliments. That's a good thing, and that's something different. So I think they had a really good draft. Got to wait till the season starts. It's different, going from college to the pros. So Ashton Genty, of course, I'm really excited about. Beck, I think he can contribute at receiver. We got some guys so that are going to add to the talent that we already have. So we'll see what happens. So that's it for this episode for this week. I'll be back next week. I'm going to end it because I got really nothing else to talk about, and I want to get away from the Aaron C. Show. Hold on a second, because I feel another plane coming over my head. Anyway, okay. So that's it for this week. I'll be back next week. I'm rocking the yellow, one of the yellow. Hold on a second. Wow. And it just lingers. The sound just lingers. So I'm rocking one of the yellow edition MAGA hats. Go to trumpstore.com to get your official Trump merchandise. You can get the bootleg, it's okay. If that's all you could afford, the real stuff, it's going to cost a little bit more. You can wait for his 20% sales like I do. That's a hint. He has certain holidays where he has 20%. Wow. Crazy. So anyway, certain holidays you got to keep checking 20% sales so you could save some money. But the stuff is made high quality, so of course you're going to pay more. But if you're going to wear bootleg stuff, it's okay, as long as you're supporting the greatest president in world history, not just United States history, world history. So anyway, I'm going to cut out. That's it for this week. I'll be back next week. All right, see ya.